Time for my top 5 movies that took me to 8 figures and beyond as an entrepreneur. So let's get rolling. Movies are powerful teaching tools. They inspire us, they give us new ideas, and for entrepreneurs and small business owners, they can be very useful in learning as you're, growing and building your empire. So, the last one is going to really surprise you, but let's get started here with number 5. Number 5, I'm going to say, is The Godfather. And this could, Godfather 2 is part of that too, but Godfather teaches you some interesting principles as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. Number 1, it talks about relationships. Everything in business is relationships. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. I can tell you that actually is a thing. When you're building a business, you have competition, you're trying to learn. You still should have an abundance mindset, but this is definitely a concept that you can learn in The Godfather. Another important concept learned that The Godfather teaches is that of leadership and accountability and how you build out an organization and get things done, albeit not always in a legal way in The Godfather, but certainly those concepts of leadership, accountability, building a business where it really is family and the team has to work together, but still holding people accountable that they've got to get their job done. And if they don't, that there's immediate consequences, although not quite as violent consequences in the real world as an entrepreneur. But I love The Godfather. That's my number 5. Number 4 was a very recent film that came out. Some of these movies are a little bit older, but this one was a newer film that came out, Blackberry. And Blackberry is this interesting look at how the Blackberry mobile phone device became really the first smartphone that really went viral before the iPhone. And what's impressive about it is understanding that you have to have different people in business. You have to have different partnerships, different strengths and weaknesses. And when you put together a business with a partnership, which most businesses are, that partnership structure or the way you build your team out, you should be bringing in people who fill gaps and weaknesses that you don't do a great job of. Of course, you should make those weaknesses become strengths, but partnerships and how you should be choosing partners and bring that together. There's some interesting concepts in Blackberry, but also I just love the focus on creating an amazing product. Alex Hormozi did a recent video in which he talked about, listen, if you'll just spend a little bit more time creating an amazing product and bring that to market, it's game over. And I think of our FinTech My Figures and how we've been working and building that up, and we didn't have the right product last year, but now we really do, and we got this clarity. And if we'd have brought it to market with everything that it was last year, it wouldn't have done well, and now it's going to be a game changer. So I really resonate with that. So Blackberry, number 4. Number 3 is going to be Jerry Maguire. This is an old 90s film. Tom Cruise, back in the day, is a sports agent for a big sports agency firm. It's based off of the real life of Lee Steinberger, who's an amazing sports agent, has represented some of the biggest athletes out there. And so Tom Cruise writes this big memorandum, this big memo about how they have to do better. They have to change their focus from it being all about them and their corporation and more about being customer-centric, which is exactly what someone like Jeff Bezos did to build Amazon, one of the most customer-centric companies out there. Clearly, Apple's done an amazing job of it, Steve Jobs, and now Tim Cook, who's taken over. They keep that focus on really providing amazing products that solve problems that are always getting better, and when you do that, amazing things happen, and that's what Jerry Maguire did. So he starts his own little sports agency firm. They only have a client or two, and they do everything possible to serve them. They go the extra mile. You got the famous Show Me the Money segment in that. And just an amazing movie at becoming customer-centric and focusing on delivering amazing value to the clients and having a powerful vision. Let's get to number 2. Number 2 is Fast 5, and the late great actor Paul Walker, one of my favorites. This was his final film, or one of his final 2 films before he unfortunately passed away. And this is the Fast and Furious series with Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Ludacris, a bunch of other amazing actors. Actually, in this one, I believe The Rock makes his first appearance. And what I love about Fast 5 and the whole series is, again, the importance of building a team. And you build team members who bring different strengths, weaknesses, different skill sets and you put them in the right job. And when the team is cohesive and on the same page and working towards a greater purpose together, amazing things happen. And the other thing that's amazing about how this team operates is you have a business plan that you put together and then shit happens, right? You have to make pivots, you have to make changes. And when that happens, you've got to be able to trust your team. And the most important thing, and this is from a book From Good to Great, by Jim Collins, a wonderful book that you should read about business. He talks about having the right people on the bus. And if the bus is going the wrong direction, oh, it's okay. We can change, we can pivot, we can move because we got the right people on the bus. We got the wrong people on the bus. We're in trouble. We're going nowhere. And so I love in Fast Five, they have the right people on the bus. And guess what? It doesn't go to plan. They have to change. They have to pivot. They have to have a plan B, a plan C, a backup plan. But because they're so cohesive and coordinated and work so well together, they're able to come together and get the result that they're looking for. And that is a powerful message in Fast Five. And here is my number one movie for entrepreneurs and small business owners. Again, very interesting. You notice a lot of these aren't your typical entrepreneur movies out there that are all about a business or an entrepreneur, but the concepts are very similar that we're learning in each one of these. The last one I want to share with you, number one, is The Count of Monte Cristo, one of the all-time amazing movies. Obviously, it's an amazing book. And in this movie, played by Jim Caviezel, he is taking over a ship as captain. He's getting married to the love of his life. Everything is going really well, and he's super excited. And then his best friend, who is jealous of him and who comes from money, actually strategically takes him down. He is unlawfully, illegally taken and put in a prison on an island that is a horrible place. And so he's dealing with massive adversity. Of course, as entrepreneurs, adversity is part of the game. Life is part of, adversity is part of life. That's what we deal with all the time. And especially, there's just no other place where you see it quite as often as in entrepreneurship. And so while he's dealing with all these difficulties, he meets a mentor. And so as an entrepreneur, there's this concept of, instead of you trying to reinvent the wheel, who can you learn from who already has it figured out? Who's already gotten to the top of the mountain that you can ask for a roadmap? You can ask for directions, right? And so that might mean, programs and videos on YouTube and books and seminars, and you're going to have to spend some money on some coaching, some mentorship. That's how you make progress. And so for him, he bumps into a mentor accidentally. He has books. He teaches him how to fight. He teaches him how to think. He teaches him about capitalism and about business and how human nature works, and marketing and sales and leadership, all these different things. And so as an entrepreneur, it's important. And Patrick Bet-David's new book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, is all about this. Choose your enemies wisely. Learn from them. Focus on what they're doing and how you can beat them. What I love about this movie is how you overcome adversity, how you focus on solutions, how when you whine and bitch and complain, it doesn't work, but when you improve yourself, learn new skills, you find the mentors, you find the leaders, you learn from them, you follow the roadmap for success, and then you come together and you focus on building a family, building a team, an empire, and that's what he did. An amazing movie for life and for business. So there you have it, my top 5 movies that absolutely have inspired me. What are your top 5 movies that have inspired you in entrepreneurship? Share those in the comments. I want to check those out and learn from you and learn from them, and we'll see you next time.